My name is Carol Hamilton. I'm a Detective Inspector with the Child Abuse Investigation Command of the Metropolitan Police. And it is my job and the job of my colleagues to ensure the safety and well-being of all children within London and beyond. We are going to talk about female genital mutilation, or female circumcision as it is also known. This practice originates from certain communities in Africa and the Middle East, and it is justified in the name of cultural tradition. But female genital mutilation is unnecessary. It is against all religions, it carries grave health risks, and it is against the law of this country.
I was told to lie on a mat. They used a razor blade to mutilate me. I did struggle, but one person cannot fight 10 people. And being a young child, I tried to throw my legs, tried to scream. They even put some clothes in my mouth so that nobody could hear me screaming. They had cut me, started stitching me with thorns.
The barbaric procedure Sadia endured was FGM, or female genital mutilation.
Female genital mutilation is defined as any procedure that involves partial or total removal of external female genitalia for cultural or other non-therapeutic reasons. And the World Health Organization in 1985 came up with 4 types of female genital mutilation, and they increase in severity from a symbolic prick or nick of the clitoral hood to what is fairly extensive surgery, which involves removal of almost all the external genitalia, the bringing together of the raw edges of the wound and stitching it closed, leaving a small hole towards the rectum, sometimes no bigger than a matchstick head, through which the girl is expected to urinate, menstruate, have intercourse and deliver her children. So obviously there are huge health implications as a result of female genital mutilation.
If we speak about the complications, we just divide them in 2 parts: short-term consequences and long-term consequences. The short-term is the problems or health complications which occur when the female genital mutilation takes place. It means directly either after the operation or during the operation. I don't like to use the word operation because it's medical, but I mean, you know, when the cutting happens. So bleeding is a major problem. Then comes after that the infection of the wound or urinary retention, where the child cannot pass the urine easily because of the pain. Then urinary tract infection or chronic urinary tract infection. And the other complications such as tetanus or HIV also we can say, or hepatitis B, because the practice is carried out in a group of girls who are circumcised on the same time, on the same place, with almost the same instruments, so that can spread infection from one person, one child to other child. The long-term consequences are the health problems which continues throughout the life of the girl or of the woman. So it starts also when the girl gets her period, and it is totally unnecessary and damaging.
In our experience, many of the women don't attend their GPs with some of the health problems that they've got, and they are reluctant to talk about health issues relating to the practice.
Research indicates that there are several reasons why communities practice female genital mutilation. The first reason we tend to hear is that it's a cultural practice, it's tradition. That is what the communities have been doing for millennia. And for a lot of communities, they've not been able to deconstruct the reasons why this practice continues. The next reason we tend to hear is religion. Some communities believe that it's an Islamic obligation, that it's something that is required of them as good Muslims. And we have to say that we know that this is not true. There is no mention of female genital mutilation in any of the holy books, not in the Quran, not in the Torah, not in the Bible. It is not an Islamic practice.
This practice is very horrible, and it has destroyed the lives of so many women. And thanks to the new revival of Islamic learning that we have, the Muslims discovered that this practice got to stop. Now it can be designated as something against Islam.
The other main reason we hear that perpetuates female genital mutilation is chastity, virginity, marriageability, and fidelity after marriage. There's a sort of mistaken view that by removing the clitoris of the girl child, she will not have any sexual desire, therefore ensuring that she's chaste before marriage and faithful after marriage. Again, this we know is not true.
The Female Genital Mutilation Act of 2003 makes it illegal for a person to perform female genital mutilation on any girl or any woman, and it further extends to performing female genital mutilation by taking a child outside of the country for that purpose. This is child abuse. It is against the law and it is against human rights. And therefore it carries severe penalties, up to 14 years imprisonment.
We've learned very, very quickly when the project started that communities in the United Kingdom who are FGM practicing communities are very much influenced by what happens at home. And here we're talking about Horn of Africa communities, West African communities, so we're talking about Sierra Leoneans, Liberians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Somalis, Sudanese, Ethiopians, people from Djibouti, Kenya, everywhere. Because as you know, female genital mutilation occurs in 28 countries in Africa. But it also occurs in Oman, in Yemen, United Arab Emirates, the Middle East. It happens among Malaysians, Indonesians, and most recently, we've identified that it happens among Iraqis. So our work has focused a lot on working with women, predominantly women, from practicing communities living and working in the UK, providing them the information, the confidence, and the skills to protect their daughters. We've done some work in Africa with men, which is actually very interesting, because as a lot of us come from patriarchal societies where men have a lot of power, it's important that men are aware of the issues around female genital mutilation so they can make informed decisions, because it is our belief that if men stood up against the practice, then the practice would die out very, very quickly.
So what I believe is the message has gone through to the community, but it needs more to reach out and, stop it truly once and for all.
So our work has focused a lot on working with women, predominantly women, from practicing communities living and working in the UK, providing them the information, the confidence, and the skills to protect their daughters.
Because FGM is such a taboo issue within the community itself, and the young people, because, you know, it's quite disturbing when you hear a 13-year-old saying, this is my tradition, you know, a 14 or 16-year-old who's brought up and raised here saying, oh, this is my tradition, and, you know, this is where we are, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Because you have to empower these girls to say no.
In terms of trying to get youth equipped to protect not only themselves, but siblings and other girl relations in their family. Because we see youth as not only the parents of the future, but as the protectors of now.
In most cases here in Britain, the girl is sent abroad to visit relatives. There, FGM is usually carried out by elderly women using rusty blades, even pieces of glass, and no anaesthetic. The result can be severe bleeding, infection, even death.
The message that needs to go out to the communities is that female genital mutilation is not only a harmful traditional practice, it's a human rights violation of the girl child's right to her bodily integrity and to her youth and to her health and well-being. I would therefore appeal to all members of practicing communities to consider this gender-based violence as the atrocity that it is and to abandon female genital mutilation now.